thank you for tuning in to Wednesday's edition of Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. We'll get you our special coverage as it's phase 2 of polling in J&K. The Prime Minister will also be campaigning in Haryana that goes to polls on 5th of October. That and much more. Let's get started. Over 2.5 million voters in Jammu and Kashmir will choose from 239 candidates for 26 assembly seats in the second phase of polling that begins today. The Election Commission has established more than 3,500 polling stations across 6 districts equipped with webcasting for transparency, including 157 special stations designed to enhance voter turnout. Key candidates include former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, JK PCC Chief Tariq Hamid Kara and BJP J&K Chief Ravinder Raina, with jail separatist leader Sarjan Ahmed Waghi also contesting in the phase 2 of polling. The first phase note recorded a 61.38 voter turnout, and the third phase is scheduled for 1st of October, with vote counting slated to take place on 8th of October. Prime Minister Modi is set to address a BJP election rally in Sonipat today, in fact, at 12 p.m. with preparations nearly complete at the 25-acre venue featuring 23,000 chairs for attendees. Security measures have also been stringent, managed by SPG, and local police and drone flights are prohibited. In fact, BJP candidates from 22 assembly constituencies, including Rohtak, Sonipat and Panipat, will be present at this rally. This marks Prime Minister's second visit to Haryana since the announcement of the assembly polls following his previous speech in Kurukshetra on 14th of September this month. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will visit Maharashtra today to engage with the party workers and assess the political landscape ahead of anticipated assembly elections in the month of November. In fact, during his 2-day tour, he plans to hold meetings with regional party leaders in Nagpur and Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj Nagar. On Tuesday, this will be followed by discussions in Kolhapur and Nashik today. In fact, this visit is a critical part of BJP's strategy for the upcoming polls, as announced by Maharashtra BJP President Chandrasekhar Bhawankule. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath commented on Prime Minister Modi's recent visit to the US, stating that it was successful not only for foreign policy but also for enhancing India's global reputation. He further highlighted a special agreement made during the visit to promote the MSME sector, which aligns with Prime Minister Modi's goals of making India self-reliant and will benefit Uttar Pradesh, home to largest number of MSMEs. Yogi Adityanath emphasized that India's presence is essential in multipolar world and criticized the opposition for attempting to undermine India's image and aligning with anti-India forces. He further asserted that global leaders now see Prime Minister Modi as a reliable figure for conflict resolution.
प्रधानमंत्री जी की यह अमेरिका दौरा न केवल वैदेशिक नीति की दृष्टि से अत्यंत सफल रहा है, अभी तो वैश्विक पटल पर ब्रांड भारत को और विश्वसनीय बनाने वाला सिद्ध हुआ है। भारत और अमेरिका के बीच एमएसएमई सेक्टर को बढ़ावा देने के लिए भी विशेष समझौता हुआ है।
Now, Anna Shinde, father of Akshay Shinde, accused in the Badlapur sexual assault case and killed by police in what was described as retaliatory firing, has petitioned the Bombay High Court for a special investigation team probe into his son's death, alleging it was a fake encounter. His lawyer, Amit Kartanve, claims Akshay was shot while in custody. Akshay, 24, was accused of assaulting 2 minor girls and was shot during transport from Taloja jail after reportedly snatching a policeman's gun, leading to injuries to an officer and his death at the hospital. In fact, this petition will be heard by division bench today. Shiv Sena MP Priyanka Chaturvedi commented on Badlapur Encounter, stating that the accused should have faced public execution. She further expressed concerns that action taken in this case suggests attempts to conceal various issues and question what secrets were being hidden and who was being protected in the process. Chaturvedi emphasized her disdain for the crime committed against women but highlighted the need for transparency regarding the motives behind the handling of the case.
बदलापुर की जो घटना हुई थी, अगर हम शुरू से जाएं, 16 अगस्त को ये घटना का एफआईआर दर्ज हुआ था, जबकि घटना हुई थी 13 अगस्त को। 11 घंटे इंतजार कराने के बाद पुलिस ने FIR दर्ज किया गया था। सजाए मौत लीगल प्रक्रिया से होनी चाहिए थी, जहाँ सारे केस के तथ्य जनता के सामने आने चाहिए थे। जो आरोपी हैं, जो गुनहगार हैं और जो इस कृत्य में शामिल हैं, उन सबको सजा होनी चाहिए।
In an exclusive conversation with Republic, the army officer's fiancée has shared her ordeal. She alleged that she and her fiancé were harassed by 12 to 13 individuals in Odisha's Bhubaneswar and faced resistance from the police when they went to report the incident. The victim also alleged that she was physically assaulted and mistreated by the police personnel. All right, let's now take a look at the business stories that you're tracking in this edition of Quick This Morning. The first scheduled airline from Uttar Pradesh, Shankh Air, has received approval from the Union Aviation Ministry to begin its operations. It is now awaiting a clearance from the Director General of Civil Aviation. The airlines will have hubs in Lucknow and Noida. The airline said that it plans to connect major cities across India through both interstate and intra-state routes, particularly in unserved areas. The Aviation Ministry said that the objection certificate issued to the airline will be valid for 3 years, no objection certificate rather, and that the airline must comply with various regulations. The country is planning to become a global aviation leader by 2030 and expand its fleet with an expected 3,500 new aircraft by 2047. Tata Motors has shut down a 500 megawatt thermal power unit at its Trombay plant in Mumbai. This after the control room of Unit 5 caught fire. The fire occurred on Monday but was quickly extinguished. No casualties were reported. In fact, an investigation has now begun and Tata Power is working to assess the damages and restore normal operations. Top Court has disposed of 573 direct tax cases following the enhanced monetary limits for filing appeals introduced in the union budget. In fact, this decision aims to reduce tax litigation and foster a better business environment. The Ministry of Finance has announced these changes, which set the thresholds for the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, High Courts, and even for the Top Court. More than 4,000 cases are expected to be withdrawn from various judicial forums, streamlining the resolution process. Similar increases were applied to indirect tax limits, with an anticipated withdrawal of about 1,000 cases. These reforms align with the government's commitment to enhancing the ease of living and ease of doing business. The death of Ernst E&Y employee has sparked concerns over employees being overworked. Note that Ernst & Young is receiving flack from across the board. A senior government official has revealed that the Pune office was operating since 2007 without the required state permit regulating work hours, which limits adult working hours to 9 per day and 48 per week. An investigation has been launched into the death of 26-year-old audit executive Anna Sebastian, and the company has been asked to explain its side in a week. The situation has reignited discussions about employees' well-being in high-pressure jobs, particularly in the finance sector. Anna's family has alleged that she died of cardiac arrest after enduring long hours. Authorities are now examining the company's employee welfare policies and work hour logs. France's borrowing costs briefly surpassed Spain's for the first time since 2008. This reflects investor concerns about new French government's ability to manage a high budget deficit. The shift occurred amid rising yields in Eurozone, influenced by weak economic data and increased speculation regarding a European Central Bank rate cut in the month of October. The spread between French and Spanish 10-year bonds dipped into negative territory before stabilizing. In fact, investor anxiety has been intensified following a hung parliament after President Macron's surprise election, and with new finance minister acknowledging significant fiscal challenges, the broader Eurozone is experiencing a sharp contraction in business activity, fueling discussions about monetary policy adjustments. And there is a wider conflict in the Middle East after back-to-back blasts that have rocked Lebanon, which has in fact sparked an escalation between the Hezbollah and the Israeli forces. Let's take a look at the other international stories that we're tracking. While visiting an intel base, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said that Israel will continue to hit Hezbollah as the Israeli military traded fire with Lebanese militant group again, and the death toll from a massive Israeli bombardment climbed to nearly 560 people. Israel's military said that it will do whatever is necessary to push Hezbollah away from Lebanon's border with Israel. Israel and Hezbollah have been trading fire since the Israel-Hamas war began in the month of October last year. Ukrainian military intel units regained control over the power plant after securing all 30 buildings and the factory and capturing prisoners. The premises of this plant served as a stronghold for Russian troops fighting in this area. Russia's advance in this direction started in the month of May this year, intending to spread Ukrainian troops thin by adding a new direction of active combat zone. The advance stalled once Russian troops advanced 5 to 10 kilometers deep into Ukrainian territories, but the combat never stopped. The state of Maryland has added to the legal troubles facing the owner and operator of the container ship which caused the deadly collapse of Francis Scott Key Bridge after massive vessel experienced an ill-timed electrical blackout and other failures. Officials announced a new lawsuit that echoes several other recent filings alleging the ship's Singapore-based owner and manager as well knowingly sent an unseaworthy ship into U.S. waters. The lawsuit seeks damages associated with cleanup costs and rebuilding the bridge, among other expenses.
So please, hear me loud and clear. What happened in the early morning of March 26th should never have happened. A bridge that was used by thousands of vehicles every single day should still be here right now. A key artery to the Port of Baltimore, which helped move billions of dollars of freight every single year, should still be here right now. And the 6 victims of the collapse.
A U.S. Navy replenishment ship operating in the Middle East sustained damage in the incident, which is under investigation. The damage to the USNC Bighorn comes after the oiler has supplied the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group and remains in the region amid heightened tensions over the Israel-Hamas war and Israel's ongoing strikes targeting the Hezbollah camp in Lebanon. In fact, a U.S. Navy official said that the damage happened in the Middle East but declined to elaborate on its location. The official even said that the Bighorn's crew was safe and that there is no sign of an oil leak from another vessel. In fact, another U.S. official stated that the same reason that the vessel was being supported by private tugboats and an assessment was still ongoing for the vessel. Ecuadorian authorities have declared a new policy of energy rationing as severe drought continues to deplete reservoirs and limit output at country's hydroelectric plants. The new policy that started a follow-up on an already strained sector that 5 months ago was declared in an emergency situation. Minister of Energy and Mines explained the cuts were needed to keep minimum operational levels in the reservoir of the hydroelectric plant to ensure electric production during the dry season. This dam feeds It is at this time of crisis that provide more than 50% of energy required by the country. Homes, businesses and even the manufacturing sector are included in electricity rationing, facing cuts of up to 14 hours in most of the country. The drought has been described by the Ecuadorian government as the worst in more than 6 decades and has also generated conditions for the spread of larger forest fires that have already consumed nearly 37,000 hectares in recent weeks. Amid the escalating war between Israel and Hezbollah, the Israeli forces asked the Lebanese citizens to flee to safer areas as Israel continues to launch attacks on Hezbollah in the region. Now, the volunteers in the Beirut city have set up a community kitchen to cook meals for the displaced people at an empty Beirut gas station that first became a hub for volunteers after the city's devastating 2020 port explosion. Many of those displaced by the Israeli bombardments are from the areas where Hezbollah has its main operations and base of support. Students return to high school after a school in Georgia after a school shooter killed 2 students and 2 teachers in Georgia. Some students were still uneasy about returning. Police said that a 14-year-old student slipped out of math class on the morning of 4th of September with an AR-15 style rifle given to him by his father. Within minutes, sounds of gunshots rippled through the hall and students crouched behind desks as teachers barricaded classroom doors. The school went into lockdown. Some students saw bodies as police officers led them to the football field, where others bled from the grazing of a bullet. The school has promised the expanded presence of law enforcement officers, school counselors, and even therapy dogs. China has launched a Smart Dragon 3 carrier rocket from the waters near the East China's own, placing 8 satellites into planned orbit. The commercial rocket, also known as Zilong 3, carrying Tianyi-41 and other satellites. The satellite launch center, headquartered inland in North China, carried out its offshore launch. The launch marks the 4th flight mission for the Smart Dragon 3 carrier rocket launch series. And with that, we head into a very short break. When we come back, we'll get you all the action that we're tracking from the world of sports and entertainment. Welcome back. Let's now take a look at the sports stories that we're tracking in Wednesday's edition of Quick Morning. The men's selection committee has picked the rest of India's squad for the upcoming Irani Cup 2024 to be played against Mumbai. It features several names who will be making a return to playing cricket. There were also some changes made to India's squad for the second test against Bangladesh, as Sarfaraz Khan will be joining the Mumbai team in the Irani Cup. Dhruv Jurel and Yash Dayal will also not be a part of India's squad, as they will represent the rest of India. The Irani Cup note will also see Ishan Kishan in action. The Mumbai Cricket Association on Tuesday announced a team squad for the upcoming Irani Cup fixture against the rest of India from 1st of October till the 5th, after captaining Mumbai to the Ranji Trophy title. Ajinkya Rahane will be leading the team in the Irani Cup fixture with Shreyas Iyer and Shardul Thakur. Shreyas is in hunt for a place in the India Test team after being left out of squads for 2-match series against Bangladesh. The last place test match for India in the first 2 tests of the 5-match series against England earlier in the year. Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson is aiming to return to action. The Brazil international is recovering from a hamstring injury and had been ruled out of Liverpool's English League Cup third-round match. Backup keeper replaced Alisson for 3-0 win against the opponent on Saturday and is set to retain its place against West Ham. Reigning Premier League champions Manchester City are reportedly looking to sign Munich star Jamal Musiala in the next transfer window. Kevin turning 33 a few months back. Pep Guardiola's side is aiming to find a successor to the Belgian throne at the club. Manchester City reportedly are willing to offer 100 million euros to sign the highly rated 21-year-old German international. Musiala is also on Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester United's radar. A proposed regeneration of the area around Manchester United's Old Trafford Stadium would generate money annually to the British economy. This project could deliver 92,000 new jobs, more than 17,000 new homes and extra 1.8 million visitors per year in this area. Latvian basketball player who had off-season surgery to fix the ankle injury that limited him to 7 playoff games during the championship run said he was recovering well and was already practicing on the court. The Boston Celtics are now heading back to the gym to try a repeat of NBA champions. They are getting an earlier start than the rest of the league because they open the preseason in Abu Dhabi on 4th of October.
A rare injury. Got the surgery done right after the parade. And then it was 3-4 weeks or so, kind of at home, hanging out, and then was able to start doing more in August, and now it's end of September already. Been doing a good amount of stuff, feeling pretty good.
Let's now take a look at all that we are tracking from the world of glitz and glamour in this edition of Quick Morning. Paris Fashion Week 2024 for women's Spring-Summer 2025 collection started on Monday and will be hosted till 1st of October. This is one of the world's most celebrated galas of fashion that takes place twice a year. While representing the beauty giant L'Oreal, Alia Bhatt owned the open-air runway, bringing a unique energy to the show. The exquisite fashion moment is now going viral. The Film Federation of India chose Kiran Rao directorial among the 29 entries as India's official entry to the Academy Awards. The submission, however, does not guarantee a nomination and would be competing with films from several other countries to bag a nomination in the Best International Film at the Oscars. While several social media users hailed the selection, some pointed out issues with the reasons cited by the Film Federation. The wording of the citation has raised contention on social media. Several social media users have slammed the film body, labeling the wordings in the citation. Natalie Portman and Rosalia were among some of the celebrity guests at the Dior Ready to Wear Spring-Summer 2025 show in Paris. In fact, Indian star Sonam Kapoor, American actor Kelly Rutherford, and South Korean actor were among those who attended the event. Italian designer Alberta Ferrati has announced her departure as creative director for the namesake brand, as she had founded the brand she founded in 1981 in Milan. The announcement came at the end of Milan Fashion Week, a week after Ferrati showed her last collection. She said that she is going to continue as vice president of FA Group, which also includes fashion brands Moschino, Philosophy and Polini. That a new creative designer for Alberto Ferrati will be announced in due time. American television writer and director Ryan Murphy and the stars of new horror crime series walked a purple carpet in New York. The 10-part horror thriller stars Nicey Nash as a detective in a small town of investigating a series of crimes while dealing with issues at home.
Yes, you do get to see the family, you do get to see horror, but there's also social commentary that is weaved through about just the sign of the times. So Ryan is brilliant that way. I don't know how his mind works, but because I trust him so much, he will forever have me at hello.
And in other entertainment stories that we're tracking, J.B. Butler, Jason Tatum and Anthony Edwards are pulling back the curtain and bringing audiences behind the scene for the 2023-2024 NBA season. Netflix documentary series Starting Five gives sporting fans a fresh look at some of the top basketball players in the professional league.
Means a lot because I was the kid that looked up to KD, so I know how that feel, and I got the chance to play with him. So, the kids that's dreaming about maybe playing with me one day in the Olympics, it'll happen if they keep working, so that'll be dope.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of our broadcast. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, we'll get you all the top stories that we're tracking from across the country and the globe.